Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Phantasy Star 2. In the last episode, we finished up the second act of the game, where you have to go and run around, go and unlock all of the dams that are holding the water back on Motavia. A prison satellite that we ended up getting dragged into as a result of our intervention crashed into the capital planet of the system, Palma, and caused it to explode. So we are very much wanted criminals. But to continue our investigation and try to clear our name, we need to go off planet. Up until now, we have stayed almost entirely here on Motavia, but now we have to head over to the second map of the game, Dezolis. And we do so, I believe, here at the central tower. If we go to the roof, this is Motavia's only remaining spaceship. It's entirely automatic, so anyone can fly it. So we go to Dezolis. Yes. I'll leave it for Dezolis. As you can see from that little clip there, Dezolis is a snowy planet. And from the fog effect, I suppose, you can also tell it's a slightly more complicated level than Motavia was, because rather annoyingly, every single time you travel here, you need to enter the Skjor space station, a giant dungeon that leads to all of the individual areas of Dezolis. So, moving around can be a bit of a nightmare. There are also a couple of items we will need to collect before we can realistically do anything on the planet, so you're going to have to follow my actions. To start with, I suppose it deposits us straight in front of the planet. Okay, straight in front of the spaceship. I assume the spaceship was in the middle of the launch pad, but no, it is in fact on that corner. What we need to do is go around. We're going to be using, or continuing to use, our little trick to avoid getting into fights as much as possible. You'll notice, as much as I said at the end of the last episode that I would be replacing Kane with Amy, that has not come to pass. That's because I did a little bit more research. In my time between episodes, I looked at different guides, and I realised that I don't want to level up Amy. It's a really long and tedious process. I'd rather just keep Kane in the party. It turns out those techniques actually continue to work on the enemies here on Dezolis, even the ones that are not robots. So he actually does maintain his purpose a lot better than the guide I was following made it out like he would. One thing I did forget to do though, I realised, is stock up on trimates. And these guys are taking ages to kill, so that could be a problem. Now, hopefully we can level people up a little bit, but I'd rather just keep them alive, to be honest. Right. Rolf. Go heal yourself up, man. And then the others, hold on, I guess? Well, wishes. I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't have to resort to much healing here on this dungeon, but I think we're just going to have to be very constant with doing our trick to avoid encounters as much as possible. But there are a lot of suits and different floors on this dungeon. It's these things that we're looking out for to move between floors. We need to take this one to this intersection. The walkways are a bit narrow, so it can be a bit of a nightmare to try and get through them. Right, I believe we then go north to grab our first chest of the dungeon. The magic cap. This is one of two pieces of headgear we're going to need for this planet. This one's actually a bit of a red herring, but it can be useful, so we are going to keep a hold of it anyway. In reality, we don't want a magic cap. We want a mogic cap with an O instead of an A. That's the one that we really want. But whatever, we've grabbed this item. We then, I believe, want to head south. Yep. We want to head to the suit down here. Looks like some sort of games controller, to be honest. Not games controller, games console. We want to grab this. I believe we just want to head north from this one. And we are going to hit the absolute motherload of chests. There are 6 here, but we only want to grab some of them. At this point, inventory space has become something of a luxury, so we can't be affording to just grab everything. We need to be careful, because a lot of the chests in this dungeon are junk. They're just there to basically waste an inventory slot. So we do want to be careful with the chests that we are deciding to pick up, because they can very much waste our inventory. We let him. These guys seem to be doing way more damage than they were doing on Motavia. Perhaps that's just because I've left people fairly low level. I haven't bothered grinding between the episodes. I realised at the end of the day, worst comes to worst, I just do it between episodes. Plus, enemies on this stage should have more experience, so that's also useful. Right, we want a magic cap, and then it's these 2 chests in the top left corner. You can see that weird Pikachu thing. Oh. Right, not the newspaper. This one? Yes, 5600 Meseta. That's very good, because we are about to go on a very expensive shopping trip in these 3 dungeons. Okay. Not that one. Okay, there you go. There's the Mogic cap. We're going to need that once we enter a town. The Magic cap lets us talk to these weird Pikachu cat things, but they're not really useful, so it's no point going into the inventory, swapping out your hat, going back into the game, or the rest of that. There's no point wasting time doing all of that. We'll just continue forward. Right, we want to head east from here, and then we're going to, there we are. Is it finally going to let us out? Finally. Right, we then want to take the first branch south, apparently, to this teleporter. Oh, sorry, that chest, the Lacon chest, that is a big defensive upgrade for Rolf. Let's see, 154 to 174, so a 20, plus 20 defense bonus, very good. We want to keep that. And then we're basically going back the way we came to get back to that intersection from earlier. Damn it. Large miners, I think, are some of the most dangerous enemies in the entire dungeon, so this is really annoying to come across them, and even more annoying that they somehow managed to ambush us. At the very least, the defensive upgrade seems to have done good work for Rolf. He has taken a lot less damage than he was beforehand. Kane's in a bad situation, though. So we're going to go back into strategy. We're going to change from use the Storm Gear to using the Aegis, so you can get a little bit of healing for free. Rudo doesn't really need the healing, and I think Anna and Rolf should be fine for now. For those who are unaware, Rudo and Kane are our 2 characters who can basically heal themselves. The other 2, Anna and Rolf, they're kind of out of luck there. We have to keep spending Trimates and the rest of it to keep them alive. But 994 experience points, that's very nice. At the very least, we are finally getting decent decent experience amounts from our fights, whereas beforehand, kind of out of luck. Right, way we came. Come on. The problem is that not only is it kind of tedious to move around here, all of the chests, all of the pathways are really narrow and kind of awkward to tell where you're actually standing on them to get around. But yeah, just get into a rhythm of pressing the A button, and then, you know, if you get into a fight, you get some experience, but it keeps the encounter rate at a manageable level. Right, along here, walk left. We're going to ignore the first suit we come along, apparently. If I can get through the corridor, that is. There we are. Right, we're apparently going to ignore one of these, ignore the suit to the south for just a second. We are instead going to use this suit to go down. We're going to come out. We're going to follow the path along. Once it finally lets me continue, that is. We're going to grab 7800 Meseta. Very nice. That will just about cover some of the upgrades we're going to have to buy. Into the teleporter, and now we go down. There we are. We go down. Right. From this point on, it seems to be pretty much a straight shot to the end of the dungeon. A very long, narrow path along this way, where we meet our first, finally, unique enemy to this planet, a Sky Tiara. Again, these are not robots, which is what Kane is supposed to be good against, but apparently he is still effective at fighting them. His techniques and all the rest of that still do work on them, apparently. Just based off things I've seen people say. You know, I'll trust people's word, and then we're going to have to heal Anna up after this fight. But yeah, we just go into our tech. Gares Anna, because he still doesn't have that much health at the end of the day, so we don't need to really use a Trimate when we can just use TP. But yeah, long walk. Oh, another group of enemies. A bunch of Rabbiter. Frankly, kind of horrifying looking enemy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's a nasty set of enemies, right? Kind of terrifying. But, you know, we fight them. I don't believe they should be particularly dangerous, unless they apparently are the only ones that will bother attacking anyone. Right, come on guys, get rid of them. If nothing else, they're freaking me out. Oh, come on. At the very least, they're only reducing Rudo's defense. They're not actually damaging him. So we are good on that front. And worst comes to worst, seeing as I think Rolf and Anna can finish them off, we can just go into his inventory. We can grab our Cressa gear, and he can go heal himself up a bit if he gets another turn out. But again, I think Rolf and Anna should be good at taking them out. 1092 Meseta, that's nice. I am going to use the Visiphone here because I do want to check how much experience we've got. Plus, we are low. I don't really want to bother healing. Okay, Anna's about a level up. Everyone else is quite far away, but here's what it is. Oh, end it. There we are. Right, but yeah, point is, after a long walk, enter that teleporter. We're heading this way, though before we leave, finally, we want to head down and grab one last chest for 8600 Meseta. How much Meseta have we got now? If we check our state, 105,147. That should be good to at least get started on our shopping spree. You know what, I'm just going to run. Oh, great. Oh, great. Run, please run. Oh. This is why I went and saved with the Visiphone. Oh my... There's entire dungeons built around the fact of you just running away from fights, and then you have the world's worst luck with running away. It's ridiculous. Like at this point, I'm kind of locked into just trying to run away over and over again. It's not like there's anything else I can do. Like, come on, man. Look at that. That was ridiculous. Just run away to get it over and done with. There we are. Right, just finish Anna off, you know. That was what, like 8 attempts to run away in a row? All failing. It's ridiculous. Again, if it wasn't for the fact that we have a technique to avoid having to run away, can you imagine how long that would have taken? That Gyra satellite, where you have to run away from every fight because you can't actually fight anyone? Obscene. Oh, wait, no, we're on the long corridor on the way to the teleporter. We're not on the outside yet. Now, we're on the right track. Right, down to grab the Meseta again. Up and at him. And there's the teleporter out of the dungeon. Here we are on Dezolis proper. Apparently it's somewhere to the northeast. The first of the 3 settlements we're going to go to in today's episode. After last time, I think it's probably just best if our characters actually, you know, bother fighting, because clearly trying to run away, not worthwhile. Right, I want to heal you though, Rudo, before you really get into a fight. Plus, they're eyesores and Coolie 61s, we fought them plenty of times already, they're not super dangerous. It's a good opportunity for Rudo to get a little bit of healing in. It's a long and tedious process setting characters up to do something other than just a basic attack, but there we are. Finally set them up to do so. Eyesore gone, Coolie 61, hopefully not too far behind. They're certainly a lot less dangerous than the Lard's minor upgrade. There we are. Get a nice bit of money and experience from it. I believe it just says northeast on the map, and I'm not getting a new one out yet. I think it should be along here somewhere. There it is, I believe. Hopefully it is. Oh, you're kidding me. We're literally right outside of Salvation, and we get into a fight at the last possible moment. Unbelievable. Just get out of here. You're a horrifying group of enemies. I don't, like, what is it? Is it some sort of weird parasitic infection? Is it your guts? Is it some sort of scab? What's wrong with you guys? Need to heal Kane up. Right. Use the Aegis. Hopefully everyone else should have enough health to tank their way through. Oh, you're kidding me, come on! You know what, just fight. Hopefully they're defeated before, there we are, Rudo runs out of HP. Anna levels up, that's good. Right, here we are. Finally, safety in the town of Alkbar. the first of the 3 settlements we're going to spend today's episode in getting to. Before we can really do anything though, we need to go and equip one of our characters with the Mojic cap. Who grabbed that in the end? Rudo. Okay. Need to give it to Rolf first. Great. Give to Rolf. And then Rolf will equip the Mojic cap. Don't use it in a fight, but you have to go and equip it every time you enter one of these locations, or else these guys won't talk to you. And you can't use any of our shops or hospitals or anything, but now we've equipped it, we can. You can see a whole new group of aliens. They're strange, tall hats. Sort of look like dried out corpses or whatever, but perhaps that's just the graphics. Now, we do need to get into a bit of a shopping spree here, mind you. The weapon shop stocks massive upgrades. I should quickly just go in, show off how expensive they are though, hence why we needed so much money. But we are going to be buying a fair amount of stuff here. So let me have a look. Rolf, it's recommended from this store that we buy Cane 2 Lusonian maces, these things. And I think that that's actually all we can really buy of the recommended gear for now. Everyone else is using different things, which is a bit awkward. But I guess 2 Lusonian maces then for Cane. Although, to be fair, he isn't actually using anything. Okay, maybe we'll look at the armor first. We don't really need Cane to have new weapons, because he doesn't actually use the weapons ever. He's using the storm gear instead. Where is your armor store? Is it up here? There it is. Right, armor store. Let's see what we can grab for people here then. Rudo. We can also not buy anything for them either. But Anna, at the very least, we can buy the Lacone cape. So that will be a nice defensive upgrade for her. And then I think that is it. Huh. Well, that's a good start to the shopping journey, I guess. No one can buy anything apart from Anna getting a little bit of a defensive upgrade. Wonderful. Is it a good defensive upgrade though? Let's have a look. No, not really. Hugely expensive for not much of anything. Not much of a reward. Great. But we can sell some stuff here though, to make a little bit of extra money. We can definitely sell one of the magic caps. Okay, never mind, we can't sell the magic cap. Great. Wonderful. We could sell the Star Mist for a lot of money, but that's a bit over the top. We can sell one of the laser slashers. In fact, I think Anna, we can probably sell a fair amount of stuff here. So, the Silver Crown. And then we can also sell the Crystal Cape for basically nothing. Okay. Wonderful. I was kind of hoping for a bit more than that, but whatever, I guess. Nope, there's nothing else. There should be a teleporter here, though, and I believe that will allow us, once we've got the other stations, to teleport between the towns here. Let me quickly check. Yeah, and then we can teleport to the middle of Skjor as well. So we can continue on our next few journeys after we quickly save. We don't want things to go wrong. It's a bit more of a stop-start adventure than I hoped it would be. But we have to go and now equip Rolf with his actual headgear, the titanium helmet. There we are. Right. Second journey through skewer. We are heading, I think, pretty much the way we came last time, which is to say north and then west. Or maybe this is a different route looking at my various maps. Go west and it will turn south, and now we just keep going this way until we eventually hit a wall, like so. Along this way, again, trying to avoid as many encounters as possible, if not all. No idea what that is supposed to stand for. It's something base. Tractor base, maybe? I don't know. Oh, I just realised Kane is still using the Aegis. That's not what I intend for him to do. He should go and equip his storm gear. And slowly we'll whittle the guy down. The one benefit is it's a single enemy, so it's not like we're wasting turns hitting other things. And it's also, I think, this is a much shorter route to the next town than the last one was, so it should hopefully be fairly quick. Get a bunch of Meseta and experience. Teleporter, there we are. Ah. Right, downstairs, paths leading to the north and the east. Before we do anything, we want to go north, because there is a box with a load more money in it. And as you can see from that town, and we didn't actually buy all that much, we're going to need a lot of money. Continue north down the first chute we see, apparently. Follow the path down until you get to the next chute you see. Like so. There we are. Is that the way out? Certainly it's the way forward at the very least. Right. We continue upwards until the path splits left and right. Although that's not yet, because that's just a loop around. Right. Left and right. We want to take the right path, because there is a chest there. Garter boots, which we can equip to the males. Once we get out of the dungeon, I'll go check which males we want to equip them to, and which ones we want to leave a bit defenseless until we go and buy them properly. Dezo owls, hopefully not too bad. A bit tanky, seeing as Rudo's doing less than 50 damage to them. But they don't appear to be hugely damaging. But then they are attacking Kane, so any amount of damage to him's pretty bad. 917 experience points, that's what we like to see. That's enough to actually get people leveling up in less than 100 battles. Right, nearly out. Oh no, we are continuing on the path that we went to earlier for the Garter boots. My mistake. We are continuing this way. And I believe the next teleporter should be the way out. But like typical, we can't get anywhere without the damn rabbits coming in to ruin our day. Luckily, these are slightly weaker versions of the rabbiter enemies we've been fighting up till now, so hopefully it shouldn't take ages. But we definitely want Kane using his healing ability, because he is getting low. Use the Aegis, please. And then the rest of these guys, hopefully we should be able to finish them off pretty quickly. There we are. And out we go. Right, apparently our next town is far to the northeast. and that is the town of Zosa. So we're just going to have to go through the wasteland until we find where we're going. Large miners, really horrible type of enemy. Deal a lot of damage. Our characters are apparently terrible at actually bothering to hit them. And again, the fact that I have to do this every time I want to heal Kane's getting kind of annoying. Oh, change what Kane's doing, I should say. They're all attacking Rudo, which is great because it now means I have to go and get one of our main damage dealers to not deal any damage, so he can heal himself up with the Cressigear. And then Rolf, I think we're just going to have to use a Trimate because he's getting quite low. He's getting very low. Right, Rolf. Use a Trimate on yourself. Rudo, you're now healed up, so get back to normal attacking. Oh my... I don't know what that means for us, because I don't know how we're supposed to heal Rolf up, since he's the one that can allow us to use the hospital. Of all of the guys that had to die, it had to be him. This could be very awkward now, but there's nothing we can do except press on, because we don't really have any items to let us. This is driving me nuts. Elatusk, come on, just get it over and done with. Why not? Wipe us out. Come on, just get it over and done with. Oh, okay. I didn't realise you really did that much damage. I was saying it kind of jokingly, but no, you do crazy damage. Oh, bother. We'll press on just to figure out our path, but I think we really are screwed now, because I do think we need to have Rolf alive to use the hospital in the next town. Especially because we've gone the wrong way. You can see the town in the corner. Oh, nuts. Okay guys, I'm just going to cut until we actually get to the town, because I don't think it's going to go well for us. As expected, we did die. As soon as I cut the camera, the Elatusks really descended. We had like 3 fights in the span of no time at all. I only started recording again before we hit the town of Zosa, because I have somehow managed to break Phantasy Star 2. I clicked on the interact button at the same time as I went through a teleporter, and this is what happened. So, yeah, I've just got that on my screen now, hopefully. Oh, it's a physical no, it's looping with the skybox, I guess. Okay. Strange glitch, but who am I to say anything? But yeah, we did die. We were defeated. We've got to go and grab everything again. So I just turned the recording back on just to show you guys that I have somehow managed to break the game even further. No luck anywhere. Ridiculous. And finally, we've entered the town that we were trying to get to for the last couple of minutes. It took a while, but we are here. And the first thing I'm going to do, well, apart from going to the hospital, of course, to go and heal up. Oh, sorry. After I go and equip the Mojic cap. Let's see. Mojic cap. There we are. Right. Once we go into the hospital, heal ourselves up. We didn't take a huge amount of damage, especially because I healed people up just before we got in here. But we are going to go to the weapons store, wherever that is. because I have found in this game that the best defense is overwhelming offense. If you can just actually deal any decent damage at all to an enemy, that's better than surviving a couple more hits because of how quickly fights can go downhill. Right, here in this town, is there anything that any of our characters really want to use? No. No, it's still the Laconian maces for Kane. The Pulse Vulcan here is a very good weapon for Rudo, but it is very expensive, and it would be a luxury to have. If we have the money for it, we will use it, but that's only if we have the money. Otherwise we're going to have to settle for a slightly weaker weapon, because I don't want to be grinding out 48,000 Meseta normally. But with that said, we can buy a couple of defensive things. So we can buy for Rolf. Can we buy anything? We can buy a Laconia helmet. That would be a big upgrade because he's still using a titanium helmet. Okay. We'll grab it once we've gone and sold some stuff to make room in our inventory, I suppose. Right, Rolf. You can sell an escape pipe. We brought that right to the start of the game, just as a safety precaution. You can finally get rid of that. And you can get rid of your titanium helmet, because seeing as we're selling that, we're trying to buy a replacement for it. Right, go back to the item store, or the armor store I should say. Now we can buy the Laconian helmet for Rolf. Rolf can use a Laconia helmet. I'm so confused. Why is it saying he can't use it? He should be able to use the Laconian helmet. Give me 1 second to figure things out. I've gone and checked, and rather ridiculously, Rolf from this point on can only use the final helmet in the game. That is the only helmet from now on that he gets, apart from this Mojic cap. That's it. He can't use any of the Laconian gear, or he can't use the Laconian helmet at the very least. So, guess we're not buying that for him. Who else can we buy something for? Can we buy anything for Hugh here? Laconia gear. Sorry, for Rudo I should say. Laconia gear. Laconiness, I guess we can use. That's a slight upgrade to what he's currently wearing, I guess. And that's kind of it. Ooh, and the Soon boots as well for Anna. Don't forget about that. Whoa, and yeah, and that's it. Right, we equip those. We go and grab a bunch of trimates, and then I'll see you back in Skjor. Right, we could have brought some things for Kane in terms of armor, but I don't think that's really worth it. So, to get to the final town called Ryuon, we're going to follow the route we took last time. Pretty much the entire way, to be honest. To get to the town we just left. We're only going to change the direction we're taking right at the very end. Where we had that left and right split. On one side we went and grabbed those boots, and then on the other side we turned back because we were going the wrong way. That's the only place that we're changing our route, and from there we basically just carry on the way we were going. I'll be honest, in comparison to the robots, the wildlife here, not really any threat at all. But yeah, we just carry along here. Seeing as I've already run this route like 2 or 3 times now, fairly familiar with it. This is where we had the weird visual glitch with the text box. But we continue along regardless. Great. Get into a fight with 2 gun busts. They're not too bad. Could always be worse. There are worse enemies to fight. Far worse enemies. Yeah. Didn't buy any more defensive stuff for Kane because I kind of wanted to save up for weapons because like I was saying, I think we're better off getting offensive buffs over defensive things because at this point our weapons are pretty out of date compared to our armor. Our armor's not that far behind, to be honest. Comparatively, we upgraded it fairly recently with all the stuff we've been getting in dungeons and the like. But our weapons, comparatively, are not so hot. Like the Fire Slasher, that's terrible. And then the Sword of Anger wasn't a huge upgrade anyway. Rudo hasn't got a new weapon since like Uzo Island, so we could definitely do with a bit of a buff there. Rolf learned something new, but it's not anything to do with healing, so thanks. Right, through here, if I remember correctly, yep. And then along the corridor. Again, avoiding at least a few encounters. Then turn right. Through that teleporter. Boom. Get out of the little teleporter pod. Go around the split here, because this is not the left-right split. And then from here, we go to the left. Through this teleporter. Head out. There we are. We continue along here, but I do believe we grab this chest. Yep, because there is 15,000 Meseta in it. So that is going to be very good as we head into the next town, seeing as that is seemingly where all of the goddamn weapons are in this entire planet, or on this entire planet. Right, just keep going along. From the looks of it, it's pretty much just a dead end. Right, continue south until you reach another passage leading off to the left. And then go in this direction until we hit a dead end. And that's where we hit the next teleporter. There it is. I believe this is our way out. Not quite. Shoot directly to your south. This one takes us out, and of course we're in one last fight with a bunch of rabbits before we do. Wonderful. It would just be too easy, wouldn't it, to just get out like that. One final fight against the most horrifying enemies we've fought yet, and then we can go. Hopefully it's not too long of a walk. You'll find the last town Ryuon a good distance to the south and east of the Exodus School. Wonderful. It's a massive trek once we get out of the dungeon as well. It'd just be too simple otherwise. 1,294 experience points and a good amount of Meseta, though can't complain about that. Right, and we're basically heading vaguely southeast. I haven't got a map for these sections, so actually we are going to save in case we go the wrong way, so that I'm not walking through the entirety of Skewer again. Finally that number goes up. It's been 19 for a fair while now, but it's now finally gone up to 20. The guide I'm following recommends that you're level 21 going through this section. It's like, I'm not grinding for that long. It drove me mad trying to grind in this game for any length of time. I'm not doing that to get to level 21 before even starting the journey. Okay, new type of enemy. Oaks. Who knows? Weird monkey things, maybe? Yeah, weird triclop monkey things. Don't appear to be hugely dangerous. Certainly we've fought things that have done a lot more damage and had a lot more health. So, not too bad. Or maybe just heal Rolf quickly. Sorry, Rudo quickly. Frankly, as long as those two are alive, Anna and Kane can kind of disappear, to be honest. And hopefully we are going the right way. I don't have a map of the overworld, so for all we know, we're kind of just stumbling around in the dark, hoping for the best. True Phantasy Star 2 experience, I guess. Here we are. We did stumble across it. That's good. And here is the final town of Ryuon. We'll go and heal up quickly at the hospital. We'll buy a couple of weapons. And then that'll be it for today's episode. A bit back and forth. Died a few more times than I really would have liked. But from this point on, we've only got 4 more episodes to go. We've got to get to a mansion to talk to a guy, and then we'll do like we did with the dams. We'll split the 4 dungeons on the planet into 2 episodes, and then it'll just be the finale, and we'll finally be done with Phantasy Star 2. It only took way longer than I would have liked, or had indeed really expected. Right, and finally, some of the stuff we actually want to buy is in the store. First of all, we're going to buy a laser cannon for Rudo. Yes, I do want more things. We'll then buy a sword for Rolf. And then for now... Oh, can we buy multiple slashes? 2 Laconia slashes. Have we missed those? Are they somewhere else? I didn't notice them in any of the previous areas, or perhaps they were misspelled or something. It wouldn't surprise me for this game. We could go and buy some gear, but again, I really want to just start with the weapons. I think realistically, I'll be doing a fair bit of grinding, because from the sounds of it, this is like your final opportunity to get a good set of new armor and all the rest of that. So I think I'll probably do a little bit of grinding between episodes to get ready. Attack goes up even more. That was a nice buff. And how much does Rolf's attack go up? From 134. I brought the wrong thing. Yeah, I brought the... I misread the guide. He was supposed to already have this, so I've just gone and brought a duplicate of the weapon we brought ages ago. I just assumed that at this point he would have gone at least 1 new weapon outside of that incredibly expensive Pulse Vulcan. I'll be honest, I think maybe we'll just go and buy that, because that does look like it'll be pretty huge if we do buy it. Then Rolf will sell the Sword of Anger. 140. Come on, man, you're killing me here. Is there anything else? Yes. Rolf, you've replaced your crystal chest, haven't you? Yeah. So we can sell that for... Come on. You're killing me here, man. 335? You're mad. Yeah, okay. Looks like there's going to be a fair bit of grinding in our imminent future before we get started on the next... I don't want to talk to you. You're ripping me off. Okay, fair bit of grinding before we start on the next leg of our journey. I'm sure that'll be real fun. But for today's episode, at the very least, I think I'm going to call it there. So, I would like to say thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. But for now, adios and ciao.